Alrighty guys, it is Qaaman here today bringing you another Q&A segment. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into this video. As you guys can already tell, I answered quite a few of these questions already to just verify that you guys got your questions answered. The first one comes in from Trafalgar Blake, who wants to know, do I like chicken? And I actually do like chicken, Mr. Trafalgar Blake. You can take it as a racist thing all you want, but I like it, so does many people in whatever country you live in. Let's go to this one here by Geekdom, who wants to know, can you make strawberry banana smoothies? Now, let's just say that it's an inside joke about something he was giving me advice about. That's all I'm going to leave it as. Mike wants to know, hey Qaaman, after which event will I upload the next chapter? Chat, I voted for the Qaaman's Antarctic tour, but I actually think Harold's face reveal actually has a much more realistic chance of being postponed because I have a very good idea of what Harold looks like. Goodnight Moon wants to know, what would you do if somebody gave you a Chicago Wade jersey? I would take it, you know, in terms of gratitude if they just wanted to give it to me as a gift, but I'd never wear it because it's like a slap in my face. Blue wants to know, how many Q&As are you going to do? I try to do one a week, so I guess, I don't know, as long as I keep doing YouTube, there's always going to be new questions. Okay, this one is, I didn't respond to this one. What are your general thoughts on plot devices such as Sensu, Dragon Balls, and beings like Zuno inhibiting tension? I mean, I guess they do limit tension, especially sensu beans, because no matter how injured you are, you just give somebody a sensu bean and they're fine. And I also think it's the fact that the characters are so powered now. So for example, if you go back to Dragon Ball, because Goku couldn't fly super fast or teleport and the other characters weren't as fast and strong, you know, it wasn't as easy to just get from one side of the world to the next. You know, Goku had to use his Nimbus, Bulma had to use her plane. But now that the characters are so fast and strong and can do all these things, it kind of just removes a lot of these elements and just makes the plot a lot weaker in the sense of the characters can just get there in 2 seconds. For example, when Trunks was, you know, trying to fly away, you know, to get the Dragon Radar during the Buu Saga while Goku was fighting against Fat Buu, that scene took a long time. Like, you would think, wow, it took Trunks so long to get the Dragon Radar. And that's just one thing Toriyama has openly admitted, that tension was a lot harder for him to deal with because he gave these characters so many advanced powers. So I definitely do think things like that definitely reduce tension. And in terms of the Dragon Balls, I mean, it pretty much makes death useless, which is why I think it was smart to make this arc about Trunks' timeline and to make the Z Fighters fighting in Trunks' timeline, because that way if something bad happens, even though we know it's not going to happen because they existed at the end of the saga during the tournament, it still adds a sense of tension and seriousness. Gowasu, oh hey Gowasu, he wants to know, if Toei Animation announced the Dragon Ball Heroes anime, what do you think fans would say? I don't think it would be very successful because Heroes works for a video game. Like, Dragon Ball Heroes has a lot of very fan-fiction-y things that I don't think would work for an anime show. So no, I don't think fans would take it serious. Marcus Arthur wants to know, what do I think she is hot? Well, I'll say this much, she definitely seems voluptuous. I'll add that comment. Stewie Griffin wants to know, want to come to my next sexy party? If so, bring vodka and pussycats. Stewie, I have better things to do than go to a sexy party, and I also don't drink. So yeah, and I don't think my cats would probably like that because they're not very social. Okay, Flame Wheel 2001 wants to know, in Dragon Ball Super, do you think we will see future Trunks transform beyond Super Saiyan 1? If so, which form of Super Saiyan? Well, he's already shown that he could become a Super Saiyan 2. If Trunks is going to have a hand at fighting these villains, he's already holding his own as a Super Saiyan 2, so you gotta think he could go farther. Alright, let's see. 10 Penny WWE wants to know, is Future Trunks in the Black Goku arc stronger than the last form of Cell? Absolutely. I mean, he took care of Deborah and Babidi no problem, and he was also fighting against Zamasu pretty well. And if you even go with the manga, apparently Trunks' Super Saiyan 2 form was on par with Super Saiyan 3 Goku from what I read in the manga. So, like, yeah, I would definitely say so at this point. I know this is a late question, but do you think anything would have changed if Yamcha killed that Cyberman in the Saiyan Saga? Yamcha took out the Cybermen pretty easily himself, he just got caught off guard. So Yamcha would have just been an extra fighter. I don't think he would have made a serious difference because Nappa and Vegeta were holding back so much anyways. He wouldn't have made a difference long term. And let's take 2 more here. What if Beerus slapped Videl instead of Bulma? I'm pretty sure Gohan would have had a very similar moment to what Vegeta did. And I think I already took Tenpenny's questions, and I don't think I took Broska's, so I gotta be fair here. Broska wants to know, would you rather see Black die or continue as a recurring character in Dragon Ball Super? I mean, can villains really be recurring characters? Unless you're like Piccolo, Vegeta, or Majin Buu, or I guess the Pilaf gang, or Yamcha or Tien, like characters that become good guys. I can't see Black becoming a recurring character if he's gonna be a villain. Like, if he's gonna be a villain, he has to either be stopped or killed. That's just the way the plot works. Now, unless they somehow help Black become to regular Goku, and Goku's now a good guy that can help rebuild the future, then maybe I can see that happening. I could see that if they could somehow get rid of whatever is causing Black or this evil Goku to be what he is. And I guess I'll take the Lieutenant Captain's question here. What if Super Saiyan 2 Goku teamed up with Super Saiyan 2 Majin Vegeta to defeat Fat Buu? If Goku goes Super Saiyan 3, it's all over, and that's the honest truth. Goku was holding back the whole time. And I actually really like this question by Stick It Fan. Who is the strongest Dragon Ball Z villain that Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho can defeat? This is a very interesting question. Maybe Tien, Shenhan, and like Goku in the second tournament. I think once you get to like Piccolo Jr. and King Piccolo and Raditz and all these guys that come after, I don't think Yusuke could keep up with them strictly because of speed. I think speed is the biggest difference because Yusuke is just nowhere near as fast as these other guys, and these guys are already moving at super fast speeds by that point of the series. I just don't think Yusuke can compete, considering it took Yusuke so many days just to walk from one side to the other, whereas Goku as a kid was running all across the earth just for his own self-training, which is something that I would definitely give Goku the edge in. So I'm going to go over to Ask FM right now in just 1 second, so hear me out. Alrighty guys, so we are on Ask FM. It's time to answer some more of these questions. As I said before, they deleted a lot of my questions by force. I had like 38,000, but it somehow got down to 6294. So let's answer these here. How do you raise your self-confidence? Well, first thing I would say is think about something that you're very good at and something that you contribute to the world that others don't. And I think that could definitely give somebody a boost in morale. What would happen if Gohan was killed by Raditz? I mean, if he was killed by Raditz, I mean, Gohan headbutting him had a big impact on that fight. So unless Goku could somehow sneak to Raditz and like hold him off, Gohan's pretty much going to let Goku and Piccolo die. I can't see them beating Raditz without him. Super Saiyan Blue Vegito versus Whis. I would have to probably say Super Saiyan Blue Vegito just in terms of power. I mean, I don't know. This whole thing about Toriyama's quote is taken out of proportion with the 6, 10, and 15 thing. I don't want to use that as an example, but you would think the fusion of 2 Super Saiyan Blues? I mean, man, that's like an insane multiplication of power when you consider how strong Goten and Trunks' 2 kids could get by fusing. They could go up to fighting Super Buu. In less than 60 episodes, Dragon Ball Super has gone through 3 story arcs and even up to a 4th arc. What do you think Dragon Ball Super being slimline in terms of story like GT? Because in Z there's 50 episodes just in the Frieza saga alone. Well, you gotta understand something, guys. I mean, anime has changed. You know, there's less filler in Super than there was in Z, and there was a lot of filler in Dragon Ball Z if you think about all the different arcs. So I think that plays a role too, and you also got to remember the first 2 arcs were pretty much just retelling stories. I mean, the Universe 6 arc was really the first arc of this series, so if you really think about it, they actually stretched out the first 2 arcs a lot longer than they should have been. So yeah, I definitely think that you can't really compare it to Z because it's just a completely different standard compared to today. Alright, so I already answered that question about Vegito. In the Saiyan Saga, what if Goku decided to return to Earth from King Kai's planet instead of taking the time to learn the Spirit Bomb? I mean, if he did, assuming Vegeta and Nappa don't go into their Ozaru forms, I would think everybody would be screwed because the Spirit Bomb weakened Vegeta to help the others defeat him. And unless Goku could somehow defeat Vegeta before he transforms into a Great Ape, I can't see a scenario where Goku would win just by himself. Can half partial Saiyans go Super Saiyan Gods blue? I don't know about Gods and blue, but I definitely think it's possible. I mean, you have just as much Saiyan blood as human blood, so I don't think it's impossible. We just have to see it, and I think if there's one person who's going to demonstrate it, it has to be Trunks. And let's just take this last 3 questions here. 2 Meta Coolers versus 17 and 18. I'm probably going to have to go with... I'm going to have to go with 17 and 18 because if you think about it, like Goku and Vegeta had to pretty much fight together, and even though it doesn't make perfect sense in terms of timelines, the fact that in that period of time, it's like loosely correlated around the android arc, and Goku's just going in a regular Super Saiyan form. Gohan still looks like he did before he went into the Room of Spirit and Time or Hyperbolic Time Chamber. So this is like a Goku and Vegeta before the Room of Spirit and Time. So I would have to say that 17 and 18 could defeat those 2 Metal Coolers easily. But at the same time, Goku and Vegeta managed to defeat those Metal Coolers. It's just that they keep, you know, they kept repairing itself. So I would probably have to go with 17 and 18 in terms of power, strictly because at this point, 17 and 18 were stronger than Goku and Vegeta managed to pretty much destroy those Metal Coolers, even with repairing. So yes, I go with 17 and 18. And Aurelie versus Raditz, I would say Aurelie based off of what Geekdom told me, how she has like extreme power and she's never really unleashed like her full abilities. And does Gohan know the Makanko Sappo special beam cannon? Future Gohan does on the video games. I'm not sure if he knows it officially, but Gohan was shown using his using a special beam cannon when he was training with Krillin when they were like doing that image training on the way to Planet Namek. So I guess he might have had an idea about it, but probably not mastered. So guys, I think that's gonna do it for today. I think I've answered a good amount of questions, so I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A segment for today. So please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys.